Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again, back with another scenery review. This is the second one for this week. We are in France, actually in southern France, and this is PAU Pyrenees Airport in France, Lima Foxtrot Bravo Papa. This is a payware scenery by Francevfr, another well-known developer, and you're looking at version 1 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. The download comes in at 555 meg and it installs a 1.37 gig. Now, the scenery is available from various sources: SimMarket, Orbix, Airsoft and JustFlight. I'll give you the SimMarket price because it includes VAT. You're looking at €9.90, which equates to roughly $10.56 or £8.53 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course may vary on you depending on your country where you make the purchase. So let's look at features. So features, we are looking at high resolution ground textures and reworked aerial images from IGN. Not sure what that is, but there you go. You've got detailed ground markings, photorealistic 3D buildings, vegetation reworked on the platform and its surroundings, and I assume by platform they mean the airfield. Realistic night lighting's been reworked. Runway profiles, any slopes have also been reworked. It's compatible with our Francevfr product range, so if you've got other products close to this, it should work. Geo-reference data for maximum compatibility with future add-ons installed in the same area, and the development process has been done using the SDK at 100% specifications compliant, ensuring maximum compatibility with new releases. And you've also got SIA, VAC, IAC and airport and arrival and departure charts have been provided. I need to look at that and see exactly where it is provided, if anywhere. So another interesting airport, and straight away I'm looking at the price and thinking actually this is very competitive. It's quite a bit of work's been done, and a few interesting things to look at. But for the moment, let's start with some history, which is fairly short, so here we go. So, history for you. PAU Pyrenees Airport is a public use airport, part civil and part military, owned and operated by the PAU Chamber of Commerce. The airport is situated in Pyrenees Atlantiques department in the new L'Aquitaine region, serving the city of Pau in southern France. It is located 6.2 miles or 10 kilometers northwest of Pau in Uzienne, a commune of the department of Pyrenees Atlantiques, named for the Pyrenees Mountains and the Atlantic Ocean. Apart from the civilian passenger terminal, there are military installations on the south side of the airfield, and this is over here. Those host the 4th Special Forces Helicopter Regiment, the 5th Combat Helicopter Regiment, and the French Army's Paratroopers Training Division. In 2015, Airbus named that its E-Fan electric aircraft was to be produced at PAU Pyrenees Airport, at a new facility to be constructed in 2016. The location was chosen to be near the DUSK plant at Tarbes. First deliveries of the E-Fan were expected at the end of 2017 or 2018. Now, I haven't found much information about that aircraft. However, as you can see from this shot here, the airport is quite nicely detailed, beautifully modelled, sitting in the local terrain, and to me, straight off the bat, represents a really nice little airport at a very aggressive price. But anyway, that's for us to look at a little bit closer, and we'll see. For the moment, let's go and have a look at runways. So, runways. So, PAU Pyrenees Airport operates a single runway, runway 3113, measuring 8,202 feet, or 2,500 meters, and is constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 616 feet, or 188 meters, and sits within the GMT UTC plus 1 hour time zone. Now, France, like much of Europe, does indeed observe DST, or Daylight Saving Time, and so the airport's currently 1 hour ahead of the UK, because the UK also is on British Summer Time, 1 hour ahead of UTC. So runway 3113, both ends of this runway feature high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side, and you can see that there. There's the centerline, puppies on the left. The full approach lighting system is here as per the chart as well. You also have touchdown zone lighting on this end and high intensity airfield lighting system version 2 set for runway 31 only. So it's this end that has most of the lighting options available, and that's probably because of the approach options. So approach options here, you have an instrument landing system that's certified to category 2 and category 3 low visibility operations, so when the weather's down this is the one you want to use. You also have RNP approach option and an NDB approach option should you wish to use them. You also, as you can see in the scenery, we've got runway end identifier lighting. So that's just the only additional thing not shown on the charts that's in the scenery. So let's have a look at the other end, runway 13. So here we are at the other end, runway 13, and as you can see, they've also again included runway end identifier lighting, which isn't on the charts, but you know what, I have no problem with that at all. So here you can see the high intensity lighting, got the centerline lighting as well, and the PAPIs on the left. No touchdown zone lighting, because in terms of approaches here, obviously you can fly visually into this runway during the day, but as per instrument approaches, they have visual maneuvering with prescribed tracks, or VPT. Approach option is the only approach option available for this runway. So it would appear most of the landings happen at the other end where they have full instrument approach options. So that was runways for you. As you can see, you've got taxiway here, turning pads at both ends of the runways as well. So let's have a look at jetways now. There's only two. Let's just have a look at it. Okay, jetways. So here we are on stand Alpha 2. Just two jetways at this airport. As you can see, we've got one here on the left and one here in the distance. I've spawned the Phoenix Airbus A320. This is version 2, Block 2, the latest version. We spawned directly out of the menu onto the stand. So let's operate the jetway and see how it works. So jetway motion's good. The wheels don't seem to turn very well, although they are just slowly turning. Now first time I tried this, the jetway connected and then bounced back. So let's see if it works this time and stays. Door opens and the hood goes across. Okay, so that's gone right the way through the skin, but nevertheless it looks to be a reasonably good connection. The eagle-eyed amongst you may well have seen the helicopters operating to the right in the distance. We'll have a quick look at that before we leave in a minute. Meanwhile, let's get a closer look at the jetway connection. So as you can see, the jetway's connected perfectly okay there, but it has gone well through the skin. Good thing is, of course, unlike many jetways, the stairs here don't go into the concrete because they're actually quite high up. So let's have a look at this from the other side. So there's a slightly different view. I wanted to look at the bottom and you see the connection's pretty good. It's right up to the aircraft. Unfortunately, it has gone through the skin. So here we are inside the jetway, and as you can see there, both right and left, the hood itself has gone right through the skin. But the connection at the bottom there is right up to the aircraft. And as you can see, the door opens on the Airbus the moment you connect. And the door actually is not infringing anything. There, looking at the upper part, you can see the connection with the hood is pretty good. It's unfortunate that it's had to go through the skin to do this, but we've achieved a completely closed connection, which is something you don't see very often in jetway connections on many aircraft and many sceneries. Let's have a look from inside. So here we are inside the aircraft, and as you can see, there's the doorway, which is why we couldn't go back any further. The door shutter is actually closed. So there's a high level shot showing you the two jetways that exist at this airport. Let's disconnect the jetway now and see how that goes. Doors closed. Once again the hood springs back. And the jetway disconnects. As you can see, the wheels don't turn very well. In fact, they look as though they're in the concrete here. But no, that looks okay. At least it works. And here you've got a glass jetway, so if you're using GSX, when you deboard the passengers, you should be able to see them walk up into the terminal. But there you go, that's the jetways for you. So now let's get down to the airport proper and have a really close look at the scenery and see just how good it really is. Okay, so welcome back. We start the main tour at the northern end. This is the approach here, or the threshold for runway 13. Let's move towards the main terminal area. As you can see, runway texture is perfectly okay. There's the pappies. There you've got the taxiway that goes all the way down to the runway 13. Try and slow this down a little bit. So here we're approaching the apron. There's the airfield fence. You've also got a blast screen there to the left. The ground markings, as you can see, are excellent. Plenty of weathering. All looks pretty impressive. Now here's the main parking area. Control tower there on the left. Nicely modelled building, and here are the only two jetways that they have at this airport, and they're fully functional, which of course you've seen in the jetway test. And here we've got various GA facilities, various hangars, couple of helicopters there, and it's all pretty nice, isn't it? There's a hangar there with an aircraft inside. And yeah, it looks a little simple, but it's all perfectly okay. Modelling looks nice. One or two engineers and some various people about, which is good. It brings this airport to life a little bit more. Very nice indeed. And as you can see, there's sort of some off-airport work as well. Road signage, I mean, they've done a little bit here, they really have. And it's beautifully modelled, and it sits really nicely in the terrain. And this is a nice touch. You've got palm trees there with the roundabout. Okay, the roads are sort of low-res photo real, but you know, they're not bad. It's all right. I'm just continuing along here because, like you, I'm kind of discovering this for the first time, and as you can see, plenty to look at. So a couple of shots airside here, just showing you some bits and pieces. Here we've got some lovely little aircraft from the GA area, and some really nicely weathered hangars. The buildings look great. Typical French aircraft there, can't remember the name of it, but really that's a typical French aircraft. And a nicely modelled fuel station there too, really high detailed, complete with fuel truck. That's really nice, I like that. And there on the other side, look, you can see some animated people, and again some really nicely weathered and beautifully modelled buildings. And here's the other side of that building, which looks really nice, and look, we got a scooter. That's got to be a first. I don't think I've seen a scooter in the scenery before. Very impressive. So here's a helicopter base, a couple of nice helicopters here, complete with French registrations, and again a couple of slightly animated guys out here on the ramp, all of which adds to a little bit of atmosphere here. And here we go, again another typically French aircraft, and I've just remembered what it is. It's called a JODEL, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And just an example here to show you how nice the modelling is. I mean, the texturing and the weathering on these vehicles and on the buildings behind. I mean, it looks great. This really makes the scenery. I'm actually quite impressed. And a couple of more GA aircraft and hangars down this side, and once again a couple of guys out there chatting away, which just brings the airport to life a bit. And this is a nice addition to the scenery. I thought we'd have a look at this because of the interior is modelled. So there you've got an aerobatics plane, and look at the detail on the engineer's bench here. This is lovely. It's really wonderful. This scenery is sort of surprising me at every turn. It's very, very good. Once again, a couple of really nice helicopters. You've got a Jet Ranger here, a couple of guys chatting about it, and you've got this guy working over here. Look. Okay, so let's head towards the main ramp, which is the passenger terminal, what you guys are really interested in. As you can see, plenty of ground clutter, really nicely modelled. JETWAYS look good, even at the ends they look really impressive. We'll just take a spin over the close-up of the ramp here. And there you can see there's parallaxing on the glass of the terminal there. So let's have a look at the control tower while we're here. Right, it's quite dim and dark from the outside, as you'd expect. This part of the world does get a lot of sunshine. Let's see if we can pop inside. And indeed we can. You've got a couple of guys there. A pity that, I mean, they've done this sort of half-baked. This is the only little disappointment I've found so far. You've got a control tower with literally no interior and just a couple of guys standing there. I'd like to see this modelled a little bit more in keeping with the modelling that they've done so far that we've seen. I mean, the airport's wonderful at the moment, but this is a little bit of a letdown, really. And for those of you who are interested, I talked about helicopters. There you can see a couple of them airborne on the military side of the runway. We will look closely at that shortly later on. But that is a nice touch. Not anything I've seen before. I don't think I've seen any animated helicopters around nearby, but that looks quite impressive. So there's a control tower from landside, and as you can see, the buildings and the various add-ons here on the airport are beautifully done, and lovely weathering here and texturing. It really is quite impressive. And I just really can't get my head around the fact that they've just they've sort of really half-baked the inside of the control tower. But that's the only criticism I've got so far. So while we're here, let's look at some taxiway signage. There's the windsock. I mean, the ground signage here on the taxiway is brilliant. There's kind of no complaints about that at all. And there to the left, once again, signs put in on plinths, not just left into the grass, as it were. WIGWAGS, and they work, which is good. And there you've got signage going all the way out to the runway, including the blue airfield edge lights. All in all, looks pretty impressive. No complaints about the signage, and the taxiways looks very, very nice. So we come back to the ramp area. I just want to have a look at this blast screen. And again, you see you've got these nice little details that bring this airport to life. When you look at this building, the texturing, there's a partially open hangar there. And look at that, you've got an engineer complete in work clothes and a lovely detailed hangar. Well, that's really impressive. I mean, there's just wonderful attention to detail. You just wish they'd adopted the same process with the control tower. It's just really nice. You know, it really is. And to be honest, just looking up in the sky and seeing those helicopters operating around there, again, just makes this a lovely little scenery. Okay, a couple of close-up shots here of the main terminal ramp here. Well, you can see my aircraft is parked here, just to show you what it looks like for when you park up. In fact, let's have a look from the cockpit. So there's a quick view straight out of the cockpit, and it's wonderful to see all this detail in front of us, which looks really, really excellent. So there's a view from the captain's side, and the view looking out through the first officer's window. And you can see one or two of the helicopters there operating. So a close-up look at the terminal. There you can see the parallaxing. It's not particularly high resolution actually. It looks better the further away you are, but close-up like this it does look a bit blurred. But yeah, it's nice. It would have been nice to see it at a higher resolution. I mean, I get that, but there you go. At the price, you can't really argue, and that's quite nice as well. I mean, again, it doesn't. The parallaxing doesn't look too bad. I think it just about works really, and that's what they wanted to do, and that's fine. No problem with that at all. Okay, let's start a tour landside, north to south. And once again, some lovely buildings. The ground unfortunately has been left a little bit to low resolution, but you know, here it's okay, it's not bad at all. And generally here it works. But now you get to the landside car park and you've got no parking spaces done, just the cars and vehicles have been literally thrown in. And here as we get landside of the main terminal, flags there but they're not animated, and here the ground has just been left to what it is. However, you've got some decent cars, and down there you see you've got some animated people, and that's nice. Little restaurant down there to the right. Just would have been nice if this landside road area had been developed to a higher standard. But you know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I really like this airport. It's sort of surprising me pretty much everywhere I go. The details look great. Really is nice. So just a couple of quick shots landside of the main terminal entrance there. I mean, the parallaxing is not too bad from this distance, and it's nice to see some people milling about, which again adds to the ambience of the airport. Just would have been nice to see all of this done in 3D with the roads and everything. Would make a lot of difference. So there's a close-up of the entrance. As you can see, it's parallaxing, nothing inside, but actually doesn't look too bad from here. And just overview of the landside area and the car park there. Love the palm trees. But it would have been, like I say, I think really it would have been lovely to see all of this done in 3D at a higher resolution to make it look more real. So here's the roundabout at the airport entrance. Just wanted to show you, you've got your lights here and some signage. So there you go, you got the signage, which tends to blur terribly when you get close up. However, at this point, you know, I'm looking at the price, and this is what I would expect for this price. But the upside, and we'll talk more about this in the conclusion, but the upside is just the amazing level of detail on the airfield, which is brilliant, which is what you want. But all in all, it just looks nice. It's a lovely little airport, lots of ambience, really nice. So let's go over to the military side and have a quick look over there. So here we are on the military side, on the south side of the airport, and really nice to see these animated helicopters flying around. Looks really good. There you've got a C-130 on the ramp there. I just thought we'd try and get a quick close-up of the helicopter. And you can even see the shadow on the ground, which I think is a nice touch. Looking at the military area, again, beautiful modelling, so you military guys are well taken care of. So just a quick pass over this area. I mean, the trucks are wonderfully modelled. Once again, some nice building modelling. 3D modelling a bit more here on the ground as well, which is good. Let's have a close look at this C-130. I mean, that's pretty stunning. It really is impressive. There it is from the other side. I think the only thing that's missing is a couple of engineers, ground engineers. But apart from that, nah, it's great. And here you've got a helicopter with freight and stuff and some animated pilots and engineers, which is great. It's lovely to see this. Now we do a quick pass just to see if we can get a good look at that helicopter. And there she goes. So there's a quick overview of the military side from a higher level, and you can see more things to have a look at and explore over here. And the helicopters, the animations are brilliant, I have to say. These animations here are brilliant, really are. Okay, so that was a daytime tour. Let's lower the lighting now to sunset and see what it looks like when the lighting comes up. Okay, 9:05 in the evening. It's the 1st of May 2024, and we're down here in south of France. Lighting came on about 3 minutes ago, and here you can see the gentle lighting from a higher level. There's the threshold of runway 31 there to the right, and there you've got the various GA areas and other bits and pieces extending further south. There's the military area. Not a lot of lighting that I can see here, and we can't see the helicopters now. Would have been nice if they were lit, but you know, can't have everything. And finally looking up towards the threshold of the other end of the runway there. Blue airfield edge lights, signage are lit, and you've got some green centerline lighting, I think, as well. Here's the touchdown zone lighting we talked about at the runway 31 end. Okay, so let's get down to the ramp close and have a look. Okay, so here we are at my parking spot, Alpha 2, on the passenger ramp here. You've got the big overhead lights there that are actually not providing that much light, just enough really. Parallaxing looks reasonably good, looks better at night than it does during your day, as you would expect. Some very nice downlighting on some of the buildings. Here showing you the taxiway, green centerline lights, and again you can see all the signs are lit, which looks good. Shouldn't have any problem finding your way down to the runway. We can see the helicopter there in the distance, masked against the sunset. As I said, it would have been nice to see them lit. We'll have a close-up look in a second just to see if there's anything, but I don't expect it to be light lit. Okay, so a quick tour of the airside ramp. Oh, it's generally quite nice. Parallaxing works a little bit better and looks a little bit better at night time, or dusk time rather. And it does look quite pleasant. Control tower is not lit at all inside, which is a pity, but then we've only got those two guys. But yeah, it looks okay. Minimal lighting, really not an awful lot here. It's not that well lit, but it's okay. There's the fuel. So now let's have a tour landside. And here the lighting gets a little bit better. As you can see, all these light stanchions are producing light where they should be, and this looks quite pleasant. It's really nice. It just would have been so much better if these roads were done in 3D. Once again, just showing you the main terminal entrance landside. And here, as we get a bit closer, I mean, things tend to start blurring a bit more, but you know, it's not that bad, to be honest. I've seen a lot worse. That's a nice touch. Little landside restaurant there, nicely lit, with some people. That's very nice. And they're looking towards the other entrance there. We've got a nice bus here, and a driver probably standing outside there thinking about having a cigarette. Once again, a quick view from the flight deck. This is what you'll see when you park up on Alpha 2. And looking through the first officer's window there, you can see our helicopters doing their usual bits and pieces. So just a quick high-level shot showing you landside, the overview there. As I said, it would have been so much better if they'd done all these roads and parking spaces in 3D. But you know, this is a €9 airport. This is not expensive at all. And when you look at the building work that's been done and the texturing and modelling where it counts, airside, is wonderful. And there's an overview of the high-level ramp. It's nice. It's lovely. Okay, it's a quick look at night time. Let's drop it down to night time and see how it looks and see if the lighting comes up or improves. So 10 PM local time, and as you can see, actually the lighting has come up a little bit better. There you can see the ramp area that is well lit now. Here you can see the green centerline lights that will help you find your way around. It all looks quite impressive. So there's the military area to the other side, which has come up a little bit. We'll take a quick look in a minute. So here we are on the ramp. A couple of quick shots here of the ramp. It looks fine. Nice to see the jetway ends are being lit up as well. The jetways are actually pretty impressive. And there's a terminal from Airside, and again, the parallaxing doesn't look too bad. It's not the best in the world, because it's not a really high resolution, but it's fine. It's perfectly acceptable. And it all looks pretty nice. It really does. And here you've got a couple of people here, airside, and we've got the sign, which unfortunately I think they forgot to light this. This should be lit, but it isn't, even night time now. And there you can see the control tower and the building associated with it. I mean, the parallaxing looks okay, but the control tower has literally no lighting at all, which is a pity. And this is nice. It's nice to see the hangar lit up here at the northern end. Looks very, very good. So a very quick pass landside. As you can see, the lighting is quite adequate. It's a little bit better than it was at dusk. And it looks nice. Yeah, no complaints. Very nice indeed. Okay, quick look at the military area. Now down here is where the C-130 is parked, but as you can see there's no light at all, certainly from here. So here I'm right up close to the C-130, and as you can see no lighting at all, which is a real pity. So there you can see the helicopter base proper here. You can just see the helicopter going there, and here, I mean, you've got some lighting, nothing fancy, but you've got some. So here a little bit closer, and you can see we've got minimal lighting here. So here's the helicopter we looked at before, where you've got the guys loading and unloading, and it's around about 10:15 in the evening now, and you can just about see. There's just enough lighting. And there you are looking down the rest of the helicopter base, and here you've got this, I think this is a little runway here, which is used for helicopters approaching in. Okay, let's bring the dawn up. Okay, 7:10 in the morning, and I've just sort of set the view here, not with the sun totally behind me, because the buildings won't show very much, but you can see the red glow on the buildings now. And we still have some centre line taxi lighting. The lights kind of went out 4 or 5 minutes ago, but yeah, it looks nice. There's the military area on the south side of the airfield, and you can see our friends are still flying there. And there's the sun coming up in the east, all very nice. Okay, so we set the time to 8 PM local time in the late evening afternoon. Time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. Firstly, right off the bat, I like this scenery. It's really nice. Airside, they've done a lot of work. In fact, they've done a lot of work airside and landside. The pros, beautifully textured and properly equipped runway and taxiways. Airside, you've got everything you want to a very high standard, and you can just go on exploring here. Lots of things that have been done here on the airport for you to look at. Helicopter guys are well taken care of. GA traffic as well. Lots to see and explore here. Airside, and everything you need is there. Landside looks really pleasant. It's nice to see the addition of people, the little restaurant. The parallaxing is a low resolution, but in general it works pretty well. And you have this addition of the military side with lots of little options and things there. And the animated helicopters look great. They really do. Overall, this is a really nice airport, and under €10. I mean, this is a real aggressive price for the work that's been done. Probably one of the nicest airports I've seen from Francevfr, and they've really stepped up their game. The downsides, as I said, they've done everything in 3D airside, but landside they really have kind of neglected it. The control tower is a real pity. The control tower is as much a part of airside and the operations as everything else, and all the attention to detail they've paid on these buildings and airside, and yet they've not done the control tower really. It's a bit of an afterthought. So I would like to see, if there's another version of this, I'd like to see the control tower developed properly. And landside, this all looks really nice, except it's not in 3D. You've got airside is all in 3D, the roads and everything looks great. If they did the same landside, particularly because they've got cars parked properly and they've got people milling about, the little restaurant, all the little features that they've done landside that make it so nice, just having 3D underneath it really brings it to the top, and would make this a real top airport. And in fact, if those things were done at €10, this would be a steal, absolute steal. I mean, to be honest, it's a very aggressive price for an airport that has quite a lot of features. And the helicopters are brilliant. The animated helicopters, this is probably one of the best little animations that I've seen. They've done a lovely job on the military side, so you military pilots are going to have fun with this. This really is a nice little place to fly into. In the south of France, gets pretty good weather. Yeah, a lovely place to go. So I like the airport a lot, I really do, and it's a lovely, really beautifully modelled airport. On Francevfr, if you're watching this, if you sorted out the control tower and did 3D modelling, 3D road modelling landside, this would be a real top-up little airport, certainly for the price. Yeah, you could go a whole lot more. You could have higher resolution parallaxing, which would make this look so much better, certainly at darkness. But for me, that's not a prerequisite, not for a €10 scenery. But do the control tower and do the landside area in 3D rather than low-res texturing, and this would be a top airport. So there you go, folks. That's PAU Pyrenees Airport in France. Lima Foxtrot Bravo Papa. Payware scenery by Francevfr. This is version 1 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. Installs at downloads at 555 meg, and installs at 1.37 gig, which actually is not too bad for what they've done here. It's available from various sources: SimMarket, Orbix, Airsoft, and Just Flight. Sim market price €9.90, which equates to roughly $10.56 US or £8.53 UK. As ever, the US and UK prices are estimates from the euro. They include tax at 20%, which may of course vary depending on which country you're in when you make your purchase. Highly recommended, well worth the purchase, and I bought this. I wasn't sent it review. I bought this one, and yeah, we'll fly in here. Really good. Highly recommended. So thank you for joining me, folks. That's the wrap up this review for this week. I may hopefully get one of my world tour videos out on the next sector if I can before the weekend, but I am reasonably busy this week, but we'll see. As ever, comments in the comments section I will always respond to, and thank you for joining me on the video. Hope it helped you, whether if you were deciding whether this is a worthwhile purchase or not. I'll tell you right up front, it is. It definitely is. Very nice scenery product. So my name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. As I've said before, I'm off to Las Vegas in June for the FlightSim Expo 24 show. I will be there for the 3-day weekend, 21st to 23rd of June. And anybody in LA, I'm flying into LA on the 19th, and I'll be staying the night at a local hotel near the airport before driving up to Vegas the next day on the Thursday. So if you live in LA and you're local, come catch me at the hotel and have a drink or something. Looking forward to that immensely. So thanks again, folks. I will see you in the next video. Have a great week, fly safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.